It's tracking double team hours is equivalent of basically like a main session, right? It's communication time like a main session. It doesn't track as actual work hours because it's not, right?
Because it's important to communicate this to everyone in this organization,
We do.
loud
So
and
it's
clear.
double team is line 49.
Yes, I know. I know it is there, Jay. But there is confusion still. When you said we have $20, we pay only 4 people. And that $20 shared for people. I'm still confused because I will put my house. Martin will put Orate and another person, just for example. How are we going to see now that we are losing the value, client losing the value, based on what?
All of the calculations are calculated for doing work in buddy teams of 2 to 3 people. If you have 5, 6 people in a double team, there is no value. The client is not paying for 6 people to sit in a double team to do work. You get it. It's not complicated. There's no money doing that. You can't pay 6 people to do one task.
Yes,
It's
yes.
unnecessary, it's inefficient, and there's no money for that. 5 people can't
It
sit
will,
there and watch one person do work and think that you're making money. There is no money for that,
it,
period.
it,
So if you
it,
want to do a double team, it is because you don't want to make money, right? If you want to make money, you go to the main session.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay.
okay, so it reflect, Lucy, it will reflect in the calculation. You understand?
It
It will
will
reflect
not.
in the calculation.
Do you know why, Martin? Maybe,
Why?
like, for example, we do client work. No, there is no this system. Not everybody is honest, maybe, to what they record. Always we have a
Yeah,
double team. You cannot, even if you go there sometime, you see people track their house on double team because they work on maybe client on maybe taxes on something. They will record under that, not on double team. That's my concern. But it's fine. If
But
mhm.
some
it doesn't matter how you record it. This policy has nothing to do with the actual recording of your time or the payroll. All this policy does, because however you record double team, there is no money for it, period. This policy, we already know that. It's already calculated into all of our calculations, so that's already done. So the only thing this does is remind people that you have to do a statement if you're in a double team. Okay?
I get Lucy. I get what you are saying, and I get what Jay is just talking about the policy. But what Lucy is concerned about, I am also concerned about it. You understand? I think we should have it in such a way that we need to ensure that whichever day that there is a double team or we did double team for that session, we should ensure that there is accountability of everyone filling that option of double team and for that particular hour. Period. It's better that way. Unlike just leaving others to fill the form. Though the policy is there, but people is still beating the policy, beating the law.
Yeah,
not
so with our
Ability.
new model, none of that's gonna matter. Like, because everybody has to complete work. It's just irrelevant.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
nobody
yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
in our old model, it's very difficult to game the system except for one single thing, which is what we had all these separate um like in the automated spreadsheet, it addresses everything automatically. And so it's very difficult, except for when you have multiple spreadsheets. So when we have 5 different teams and each team is tracking their own value, the only way to address that is with the client invoice. So the client invoice would ensure that the client isn't being double billed for the same work. So if Lucy and Ate have worked with each other on the taxes, for example, and both Lucy and Ate are both billing the client for $100, the client is double paying for the same work. So Lucy and Ate's pay is inflated.
1, 2,
because we don't do the invoicing.
1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So that's the only current place where the client is getting screwed on the money, right? But it's a pretty minor thing for a month, because basically in the future we're going to have to complete work and we're going to have to do the invoicing. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that in the future.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so did we answer all your questions, Lucy? Also, I'm going to do lots of policy training. I know you guys just don't give a crap about policy training. I think this is like the 10th time I've said it during the session. But we are definitely breaking lots of policies as usual. So, are we clear, Lucy, on the policy, or what? Do we ready to vote, or what's the question?
Yeah, it's a bit clear. Now I understand, because the system is different. Because my mind was still on old system, but this is different.
But even in the old system, it wasn't an issue. Like if everybody tracks their hours, wherever they track the hours, it's still not going to increase their payment or their value unless they basically, wrote that they did a bunch of client work that they didn't do. Right, which is very rare, and usually very easy to find that the client work was not done. Right, it's like, why is there 20 hours on this? You never worked on it, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I think overall, even that's going to be impossible to do in the future, because in the future you can't just track tons of client work hours and get paid for it. You actually have to complete and verify the work. So you won't be able to just track tons of client hours that you didn't do, because it won't matter. You have to actually.
Okay, Jay, I want to ask this question.
Yeah.
Let's say, for instance, I'm working on automated publicly searchable communications. I stopped, I didn't finish, like we're having problem to, or still not be able to get the communication go straight to our website, then to the social media. I stopped, and Lucy decided to take it off from where I stopped. And it's time for us to do the normal payroll thing and the invoicing. She recorded that she did that. She's on a separate team, though we are working with under the same organization. I also
Please stop.
reported.
Close
Will
your
that not
eyes.
be
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Exactly.
Open your eyes.
will
Okay.
that not be seen as double billing the client?
Yeah. So there's two parts to this. So
Because I
the
didn't
the one
complete.
part
She
the one
completed it.
part. Are you done? Or-
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So there's two parts to this. The first part is the double billing of the teams. In the old model without the invoicing, that is exactly what happened to the client. Is the teams would double bill, and so both the client would pay both teams for the same work, right? So the invoice will take care of that. In relationship, and then you just need to divide the hours between the two billing, and so the value would go between the two teams, right? So in the invoice. In the context of the bonus, though, because now that we're completing work, when you actually complete the work, the bonus itself will go between the two workers. So when you're doing the normal calculations for the team, it doesn't affect anything. You just need to divide the money for the team, and it just doesn't matter. And if you're on the same team, it literally doesn't matter at all. But in the context of the actual bonus, the bonus would matter. So let's say you have a $5 bonus, and let's say that Martines did a third of the work and Lucy did, 2/3 of the work, and maybe Lucy would get $3 and Martines would get $2. So you just have to get agreement on the percentage of who did the most work, and then Lucy gets $3. Martines would get $2 for the bonus.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways, we can go through that in the next topic. I really want to do a topic on understanding the new model of deliverables income. I think this is extremely important that we understand this immediately and get clarity on the assignments and the deliverables and getting to work for the beginning of this month so that we're focused and functional. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So can we finish this proposal, Lucy, or what?
Which one again? We are not done. Okay.
Line 24. Okay, no, sorry, online.
Okay.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you
We
learned.
can vote. I think we have concern. I think we have concerns. No.
Any question?
Okay. Any question? Martin, you can take it from.
No question.
Okay.
We
Concerns?
questions, various concerns. No, no concerns for me.
Concerns?
None.
Okay, good.
No. Any object? Any objection? Don't jump down.
Okay. Voters, then good.
If there is no objection, then we pass by consensus. You understand that, Martin?
Okay, yeah,
Unless
good, good.
always unless there is a concern. This is some that is why we
Okay,
can
good.
yeah.
So that is what
We
is
have
that English that we
consensus.
use? Consensus or what's it called? This English we used to use, this vocabulary.
Consensus.
Mhm.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
Then I can put
So
on
let's take a break, and then when we come back, do we have agreement on topic 2 for understanding the new model, the deliverables income, and going over all of your questions that you were just
yes,
asking,
yes.
getting clarity on it?
I can go with that.
I'm putting it on decision channel.
Okay, okay, I was okay. Then I was to put it, then do it. Okay, thank Let's take a break. When you are back, we go to understanding the new model. 5 minute break.
And the break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Close the door.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I'm back.
I'm here.
Okay. I already create the tab for the new model.
Okay.
All right. So
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So I'm going to link the spreadsheet for the potential team income, but this is kind of old, so let's not really pay attention to it. So this is like the current potential income budget. So right now it's only about $500. So it's certainly not a lot. And we'll talk about how that works. But it should actually be with the we have about $500. Then we also want to do additional $350 for the this would be an investment for the internal operations. So this would be client work. So the total might be more like $800, hopefully. So we will see how that all evolves into. But we should be able to get above $1,000 with very minimal additional work, and then we start from there. Okay. And this is without the new client. So what I think is the most important thing to explain here is the importance of the work. Okay. So if you go, let me know if you want me to share my screen. If you want me to share my screen, you guys understand. So into here, you don't need to go into it, but if you go in here, you can see that the most money available for the monthly income is for work that is related to things that happen a lot of times that have big budgets, right? So if you look at the wait, maybe this is old. Oh, here, when you look at the potential internal ops, you can see that the most money that's available is for
Session support.
session support. Okay, so that's what we want to focus on here is that basically sessions are the number one priority for everything. Right? So sessions where all the value is, it's where all the money is, it's where everything happens. So you have session support, and it's basically running a good session. So if we think about what we're looking at here, for a general deliverable, the minimum will be $1, right? So you're gonna have your
Time to pause.
team income.
Please stop.
And
close your eyes.
worker
Count.
bonus.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So the idea of having $1 be the minimum, I think, makes sense. So if you have $1 minimum for the team income and the worker bonus, that's a total of $2, right? And then if you also do, for example, the deadline team and deadline for the worker, so bonus. So this would be an additional dollar, which would make a total of $4. So every single minimum would be $4 total income if there's a deadline. But for session support, there's not really a deadline. So session support wouldn't really have the deadline part of it. So anything that doesn't have a deadline, the maximum that the minimum would be $2, and anything with a deadline, the minimum would be $4 to give the incentive to actually finish the work by the deadline. Does that make sense?
So
Okay.
I have now a question. How will be the session support be track
Well,
like as a
the most important thing
deliverable?
is session support. So like, let's say you want to get your bonus dollar for the session support. The most important thing is going to be following the policies. One policy I think is going to be very, very important for us to get clarity on the value. And the payments are this proposal to require verification of policies in real time. So basically, if you don't do the verification of the policies, then you should do a statement that you're not going to be getting upfront pay. Does that make sense? So by following the policies is how you get the money. Like if you go to a session, you do a session, you don't follow any policies. There's no recording. There's no notes. There's nothing. You're not doing, summaries of the topics, everything. Like just there's no value. Do you get it? So you
I get it,
make
but
the
how are
money.
we going to billing it to client to get for someone to get paid? How are
Well,
you billing
at
to
the end of
them?
the month, let's say you have the invoice to the client, and the invoice might say, sessions, and you do, let's say you did 20 sessions, so that would be $40, $2 per session. So you'd be billing the client $40 for the session.
So $2 per session like this, the session that we have right now.
No,
Mm.
this is like session support is for like buddy team work session, right? So for a main session is actually quite different. I don't know if we included the main session
Time to
yet.
stretch. Please stop
Yeah, that is the main session on line 7.
for 30
Yeah, so the
seconds.
main session's a lot more valuable. So the main session is, it says here 20, the value of the main session is $26. So if you said main session and you did 4 main sessions, that could be worth as much as 4 times 26, which would be over $100. So if you did the main sessions, it could be worth a lot more money. So that would be $104 for the month for main sessions. So it says here each individual main session would bring in $20 of team value. So that would include full recording and doing all things. So if you can think about the money in the session of like a normal buddy team session is just like 1 or 2 people. So if you have multiple buddy team sessions happening simultaneously, each buddy team session would be worth $2, right? So for a main session, everybody's together. So you could have up to 10 people all together. So when we're paying $20 for a main session, we're paying for all of those people to be paid, 10 people all getting paid simultaneously.
The
Does that
same
make
amount.
what?
Same amount for the main session. If it is $20, $20. If it is 26, 26, right?
No, they will share the money. If it is $20, they will share it among themselves since it is the main session, right? Yeah?
Yeah, so in this case, it's $21. So the main session is $21 for the team. And then there'd be a $5 bonus for the workers who ran the main session and took on roles and tasks, right? So basically, if you attend a main session, you do absolutely nothing, you don't talk, you don't do anything like Mamoon, you just sleeps through it, he's not getting a bonus, right? But the person who comes in, they make the notes, they come prepared, they show up on time, and they're getting tons of value and tons of points, and they're doing the recordings, and they're doing notes, and they're active in the session, they would get the $5 bonus. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes, how is that going to be
Mm,
implemented? I wish we
so
have a system that capture everything.
I don't understand. What is it? What's the question?
what she's saying is that how do we record someone that takes notes and someone that is actually checking the time and at the same time supplying information and someone that does not? You understand? We might be
Well,
for
we
main
track that in
session
our
like
value. We track that in our value. We give points for people who actually are participating. We always used to
okay,
track all the
okay.
value in
So
our
at
set.
the okay, at the end of the session we had our
Yeah, but
value
the but the
tracking.
but the value of the session itself, like for today, there's no value, right? We're not really doing very good on our.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2,
To
3,
me, I feel like
5. Open your
So
eyes.
today we're
there is a
we're
lot of
barely recording. We're
confusion.
not doing a very good job on keeping track of time.
We are
We weren't
recording.
prepared. Okay, but the point is that we're not verifying all of our things. We don't do summaries. We don't. There's a lot of policies we're still not following, right? So we need to
Why can't you
identify those
just
policies
why
and
can't you just
identify how. What?
continue? Sorry, continue.
No, we just need to identify everything that we're not doing and make sure we're getting the full value of the session so that we can make our $20 or whatever it is.
Okay, now if I may ask, so if we miss just one responsibility we are supposed to do, that means we will not get our full, we will not get even a value, not stock of full value. I want to get that one clear.
I mean, right now it's a little bit vague, but if you go over to policy verification tab, you have all the different types of policies, and certain policies are worth a lot more than others. So, for example, topic 0, you don't lose all the value of the session for topic 0. So, we want to do a topic 0 for half an hour. We're still going to get most of our pay, right? But if we have no recording, there's just no pay. No recording, no notes, no pay, period. It's $0. So even if we do everything else perfectly, there's no recording, there's no documentation, there's no available verification of the session. It's as if the session didn't exist. We get nothing. Do you understand? So it depends on which policy is to how severe that particular policy is in relationship to not doing it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But for me, yes, anyway, let me try to see if I will even understand it. Because I am confused. I'm trying to understand it's coming out. Because based on how many hours, maybe we should, like, if we are 10, that $20 divided by 10, and we need to attend that meeting for how many hours? Then we need to attend a meeting
It's
for
an
how much?
hour and a half. Everyone's getting paid for an hour and a half of work. If you go over an hour and a half, it
So
would be
10 people divide by 20 shilling. Divide by $20. I mean, that will be $2.
well. I
Wow.
mean, if we do it every week, it's like $100 going into our budget from the client work, and then from there we are, it's just going into our normal budget. So, and then that just gets calculated normally. So the question is really in terms of the bonus, in terms of actually dividing it between anybody. You know.
For me, this model is good, but at the same time, these are very challenging model, because when you say, like, I start the work, someone start the work, drop it there, I
Time.
pick the work, we
Please
divide.
then
It's,
get
it's
ready.
going to
Now
create a
inhale.
lot of issues.
1, 2,
Let
3.
us say if
Exhale.
somebody pick that
1,
work,
2,
finish. If you
3.
don't finish,
Inhale.
then you don't need me putting
1,
my hand on whatever you don't
3.
want to finish.
Exhale. Relax.
I don't understand. Can you say it again? I was listening to the breathing.
Like, for example, you are working on something, someone is working. Let's give an example of today work. That was the work for a Spanish team. I mean, voting form. I did that all the work, and now remain to be voted on. She left there. So now we now, two of us or three of us again. We did that work again. We come and we tally the result. How is that is going to get paid, and how am I going to get the
I
payment?
mean, my personal opinion about that is that Ate dropped the ball. She didn't do the work. She didn't take responsibility, and you don't get paid for not taking responsibility. So if Ate had passed off the value in the voting form. Let's say the voting form is worth $5. I don't know whether it's worth $1 or $5, whatever, but it's not worth a lot. But the point is that whoever's doing it needs to take responsibility. Tay didn't. So I would say all of the value should go to Lucy if Lucy did all of the work for the follow through, because Tay dropped the ball and didn't take responsibility. If Tay had passed off the information to Lucy correctly and you were able to tally and get everything ready before the session, and Tay made sure of that, then I would say Tay would get, a third and you would get 2/3. So if it's worth $3, you would get $2 and Tay would get $1 for the bonus. The rest of it would just go to the teams and the normal team payroll. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense up to there. So now, how is this going to be done daily? Let's say, for example, after finishing the session, we have to know now. Now I'm getting this. This person is getting this, or after that work is get done for a week, and how is that going to be done?
Well,
Are we
whenever you're completing a deliverable, you would want to write up your deliverable, and then you'd want to present that so that it's being tracked in the payroll for the bonus payroll, right? So if we have a $5 bonus for the main session, then you would want to track the value of the main session. So right now, I would argue that there's no value in the main session. We don't meet the minimum criteria. So if we want the $5, we need to start meeting the minimum criteria for the actual work that's supposed to be happening during the main session. From there, there's going to be an additional, I don't think it'll be as much value, but maybe there's an additional $10 of value for the follow-up.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So I want to
is
add
that the,
main session follow-up as well, because a lot of the work that we need to do, including the summaries and all the information, is all follow-up after the main session. It can last an entire additional hour or so of work, especially if we do all the social media posting and like the updating, right? So that is a lot of extra work that happens at the end of this. It happens after the session's over, right? So if we actually want to
On
get our multimedia and all of our social media functional, a lot of the updating and the follow-up after the sessions would be very valuable, because that could potentially bring in money and bring in donations and interact with the public. So we want to pay extra deliverables to actually follow through with the multimedia updates and communications based on our criteria, which is very high. Right now, we don't do any of that work, right? So we want to split that apart and say, okay, we're not required to do all of the overall updating in the actual session, but that would be a separate deliverable afterwards, right? Does that make sense?
honestly
Also,
speaking,
with our bonuses, we could do daily bonuses. We could do weekly bonuses. Like the bonus calculation should be very simple, because like we have $5 for the main session, and Lucy gets $3, Martines gets $2. That can be immediately sent that day immediately, right? There's no need to wait till the end of the month, so people can get their bonuses much quicker and easier if we wanted to do that. Whereas the team money goes into the actual normal payroll. Does that make sense?
it does, but it comes with a lot of challenges.
button?
It comes with a lot of challenges
Well, yeah, the
because
challenge is doing the work,
Very
right? Like the
yeah,
deliverable of the main
it's
session is
not
having
even about
perfect
doing the work.
notes.
It's not even about doing the work.
Why?
It's about not having the available ingredient to do the work. Take for instance, let's say we have decided to work on ensuring we follow the policy for the main session and everything. Now we want to do the summary, the social media posting, and they are not there. Look at the issue of publicly searchable communications. We have been trying to fix it. It's
Yeah,
not
so then we
working.
need to do that work first, but that's all client work, so we're going to get paid to do that already. So we get paid to do the work to prepare for the main session, to get paid more for the main session. So it's all about the deliverables.
Write down whatever you were about to say. and take a break for 6 minutes.
Like that's the work. That's the solution. We're not here to just show up and have no idea what the hell is going on. We're here to be organized and professional, which means we need to know the order, the correct order to do the work in. First, we need to do the publicly searchable communications and the multimedia, which is the client work, which we get paid for, and get that all done so that we can be prepared for the main session, so that we can do the main session professionally, and that the template's correct, that everything looks professional, that it's ready to be presented to the public, that the session's recorded and documented and organized, and everything is correct, so that we are making the value of the money for the work that we're doing, right? So if we ignore the publicly searchable communications, we ignore the multimedia setup, then of course we shouldn't get value for the main session because we didn't do the work. You get it?
Okay. Okay. Another concern, or will I say question, is that do we have like, how am I going to put, like a measurement for the payment? Like, take for instance, okay, for filling this or doing this is 0.5 cents, 2.5 cents, or it's just
The
some
minimum is
figure
going to be a
that we
dollar.
share.
The minimum is a dollar for everything.
If you complete the every, it's $1.
Correct. The minimum payment is a dollar. So when we do our calculations, when we do all our calculations for the total amount of money and all of the time and everything that's like built into our system when we're calculating it all, if it comes out to 0.000000001 penny and there's basically no value in that particular deliverable, you still get a dollar. So we round everything up to the minimum value of $1, which equates to $1 for the team, $1 for the worker bonus, $1 to complete by the deadline, and $1 to do by the deadline for the team and deadline for the worker. So that's a $4 total. So the minimum to budget
That four
for the
dollars
team
can
is
take how many
$4.
hours? That $4 can be even for like the whole 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah, but if you look at the session support, for example, in a month there might be 80 sessions. So if you do $4 times 80 sessions, you're getting a ton of value out of it because it's worth like $300, right?
It's, oh my,
It is
like
not about doing the
support.
session, it's about fulfilling the requirement that entails in the session. You can do 80, $100 sessions, whatever, or as the case may be. But at the end of the day, your pay will still be maybe $20 or $3 or $5. That's what we're talking about. We are ready to do the work. We are ready to do what
No,
involves,
if
but
you do
it's
20
just we are
sessions,
looking at.
if you do 20 sessions a month and you do them correct and well and you follow the policies, that's a $20 bonus right there. And that doesn't include your base pay. That's just the bonus pay, right?
I'm
So
still not getting understanding about session support.
it's just a buddy team session, a normal buddy team session, right? So a normal buddy team session doesn't have a lot of value. It's like a dollar bonus, right? Whereas the main session has a lot more value because instead of paying for just 2 3 people to do the work session, you're paying for up to 10 people to do a session together, right? So there's a lot more value in a main session because the main sessions are just more important, right? And again, we cover the cost of a main session, once per week. Like if you have four or five emergency sessions in a week, it's going to dilute the value. Like we can't give more value for every main session at this time, but in the future we could. We'll just see what we can do. So does that make sense that it's a normal buddy team session? Like before, we didn't pay anything for normal buddy team sessions. Like
And
normal
then for
sessions before
me,
were $0. Now we're saying we're going to give a bonus on top of the other client work for doing the actual deliverables. Every single deliverable is going to have a value in the new model for Co-op 2.0. So things that used to get paid nothing, like sessions, are now getting paid. You're getting paid for the notes. You're getting paid for the policies, like following the policies. Anything that's a deliverable of doing a good session is a deliverable, and it should be paid. And that's going to be an extra dollar bonus on top of all the other money you were already getting paid for before. So before you got nothing for a session, now you're going to get a dollar for every single session. Does that make sense?
that means Dave, even the pay rate is not matter this time. Even the hours doesn't matter because everything is based on that. Even if you work 10,000 hours, just if it is $1, $1, there is no need of even having pay rates on our pops. I
No,
think that's
the pay rate is the same thing as before. The pay rates determine our value of our tokens, right? So the pay rates are like
so.
we do before. It's all about the
That
token
mean
value.
when you talk of value is not a front pay.
Our upfront pay is going to be based on the client
Oh,
work, just like before. So you do the client work, it goes in the payroll. You're getting your normal base pay for your upfront pay. That's the team income is the base pay. The team income is your base pay. If we get more team income, it could go to bonuses and profits, but we would need to make sure we're doing a lot more work than we're doing now, right? But it's
ah,
the same as before. If the Spanish team doesn't do any work, they should not be expecting to get paid upfront pay.
End of break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
then
So nothing changes in the way in the new model to the old model. The payroll should all run exactly the same, and everyone should get the same, if not more, money because you're getting all these bonuses on top of your pay.
there is nothing that like I now understand. Even if whatever you said value just a value. It's not something that you are going to get paid like a front pay. It's just
The
like based on
the
the
only
client.
thing that you're going to get a direct value is the bonus pay. So if we get a $1 bonus for doing a correct session, that is a direct individual bonus to the worker. So if you schedule with me for a session and we do a great session, you're going to get an automatic bonus. Or if we complete work, for example, we update a portfolio for our assets, maybe we get a $10 bonus that goes directly to your pay immediately. Everything else stays the same. So this is a new component where like it used to exist for completing work, but no one ever completes the work. So now we're required to complete the work to get the pay at all. So we're going to be completing the work, which means that every individual who participates with the work will get a bonus, right?
Now I understand. It is not like whatever me. I was thinking, okay, now that you're going to get like whatever, if it is $2, it's a front pay, just a value. That is just a value, not a front pay. Okay.
No, that for the bonus, it's direct pay. The
For you to
team
get a bonus
income,
also, Jays, there is a lot of work need to be done there. That is
yes,
why
correct.
this model is going to be very tricky. Like all this, I don't know whether Martin understood this. Me and now understand. It's just a value. It's not a front pay unless you get the bonus. Where you saw bonus, like we have $1, that is only what you have. But to
No,
be honest,
there's no
for
way to
me,
get the pay without the bonus. The bonus and the pay are the same thing.
of course, it is.
Right.
If you deliver, you can have it. For example, if you deliver support session, the bonus is $1. It's $1. The $1 that is the money now. I can get it regardless of not doing the client work. Is that right?
What was it again? Say again.
For example, the support session. If I run the session very well, even if I did not do the client work, I should get that $1, right?
If you run the session well, you would get the dollar. Yeah, that's exactly the idea of the session bonus. Mhm.
Then all these
But
like two
that would be
dollars,
an incentive.
this
That's like an
value two
incentive.
dollars and $3. How do you feel about this one, Jay?
About what?
Somebody doing the whole thing and get $1.
Time to pause.
So here's some
Please
other
stop.
bonuses here.
Close your eyes. Count. One,
Because
two,
these bonuses,
three,
so
four,
so
five.
example here for
Open your
bonuses that
eyes.
have a little more value. So that we completed nonprofit taxes, you get an $11 bonus. So that means that if you have Community Life Network, WCTC, and you have CCC, that's going to be $33 individual bonus.
and this
Trust
work is
profit
not
individual
is not
taxes, there's
yes,
like three
I
or
can
four.
respond
So
to
that's
that.
going to be like $40 of bonus for trust taxes. Asset portfolio redistribution is $10 bonus, right? So we could do four of those. That would be $40 of asset redistribution if we did all that work. The Dex pairing value related MMM is $8 bonus. So I don't know how many of those there are, but maybe there's three
Okay.
or something.
Now before you continue, like you said you can get $11. How many hours for someone to deliver that work?
It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. The key is the actually getting the work completed, and
And
that's
then
just the
here,
bonus.
I
So you're
think
getting
then
paid in
here
addition to the
we are
bonus. You're
really
getting paid the
focusing
base
on
pay.
we
So you're
here
also
we are
getting the base
focusing
pay.
on not getting people to get paid. We are
Yeah, but the
focusing
but
on
the
just
base
doing
pay
the
is
work.
worth much more than the bonus. So in this case, the base pay is
Imagine doing you can do like more hours getting
$44.
11 3
So the
one
total is
my
$44
God.
per thing. If there's three of them, that would be 100 and something dollars. So 44 times 3 is going to be like $120 or so plus the 33. So it's going to be about over $150 for doing the nonprofit taxes. So it should be similar, if not more, because like there's going to be more money going to the individual. Because before, all the money went to the team, and all the money was split up to everybody who didn't do any work. Now, a good chunk of the money is going to go directly to the individual that does the work, and everybody who doesn't do work is just not going to get as much money. So if you're actually doing work, you're going to get paid a lot more money than before, because before we were spending so much money on people who weren't doing work. Does that make sense? So the bonus is just the bonus on top.
It makes sense,
The
but
base pay is going to be a
the
lot more
work is
money.
very much. It's like it's not the measurable hours that you will finish. Our work is very tedious. You have to take a lot of time for you to deliver that work.
Okay, but you
You
don't have to do any work if you don't want to, Lucy. No one's forcing you to do any work. If you want to do the work, then focus
no
on
no
the
no. Then
important
I
work.
will.
No,
You know
let me
why?
finish.
Why?
Let me finish, please. If you don't want to do the work, no one's forcing you to do the work. If you want to do work, then focus on the priority work. The priority work is revenue generation. If you want to get paid a full salary and make sure everyone else gets paid, then you do the revenue generation. We bring the money in so that we all get paid. Period. Okay?
But let me know. Let me
If you
now
don't
respond to you.
care
When
about
you
the
always
revenue
say
generation and
you
you
don't have
don't care about everyone getting paid, then you don't deserve to get paid. It's that simple. We need to have revenue generation. We need to bring money into the organization to get the full value of all the pay, because otherwise everyone doesn't get paid, including me. So if you don't care about everyone getting paid, then this is not the right place to be.
you always say that day you don't want someone to touch where you don't like. This is an organization that we express what we see there. Even if Lucy is like you say, if it is not your place, you always telling me this is not your right place. Okay, fine, but I'm talking on behalf of any other personnel, not necessarily me. When I'm
Mhm.
saying it is a lot of work with $1, you say no. If you don't want to do the work, you need to get no. It's not about that. It's about an
Mm.
organization.
Mm. Jay, like Lucy
No, like
said,
the
uh,
money is based on the money available. The more money we bring in, the more money that's available. So in the future, if
mm,
we have more money, we can pay everybody $5 per session instead of $1. Like it's just a matter of having money. Does that make
mm.
sense?
Yeah, Jay, let me just say this. You see, truth be told, though we have less money than we usually do in the past, right now for the next month, but the number of work that is involved just to get $1 is too much. Nobody can do that in the Western world.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like nobody is coming to a session to just do a session. You're coming to a session to do client work. So you're getting double the money. If you come to the session, you do client work, you're getting the money for the client work plus the money for the
The
session.
pay rate, the pay rate. Let me tell you. You see, Lucy. Let me tell you, Lucy and me and some other people. They are in this organization. Not that they don't have an alternative, not that they can't leave the organization, but because they've kind of have a strong affinity with this organization. That's the reason why they keep want to be there. The money $1 is nothing to it cannot even carry me for anything. But I'm doing it for the sake of welfare. Let me just contribute for the common, for the social cause, then for adventure, for my involvement. If I get something, fine. You understand? But what we are trying to say is that though we know the money is small, you understand, but we are just saying the pay for doing all the deliverables is too low. truth be told, the Spanish team will not take this. I'm telling you.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your
The
eyes.
Spanish team
Count.
already
1,
approved it.
2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
They
But
approve. By the
nevertheless,
end of the day,
nevertheless, nevertheless, are you getting me? Sorry, Lucy. Nevertheless, even if it is 50 cents, we will still take it. It is not about the money. You've not
Why?
paid.
But why shouldn't it be about the money? Like, you know, this is it's still a lot of money that we're paying. It's not like nothing, right? This is
This
money
is
that
it's a
we
lot
are
of
putting.
money,
So
but it does
if you
not
look at line
commensurate with the effort
65,
and the responsibility
if you
involved
look
in
at
it.
line 65, you can organize all of the client work based on the available money. The money is calculated based on the amount of money that's in that particular budget. We have the most money in the nonprofit. So if you want to make money, you're not going to work for activity team or for organizations that have no money. If you want to, you can go work for the global movement and all of the organizations that I'm working with every single day to help with the strikes, to help with the protests, to help with the 5051 movement, and all of the things that are happening all around the world are constant, and you can get involved in all of them. They don't have money to pay you, right? So it's up to you to decide what you want to do. If you want to make the most money, you're going to be working on the sponsorship program or the nonprofit taxes or something that has money, right? Because if you work on something that doesn't have money, then you shouldn't expect to make a bunch of money. So everything's organized in the client work by the dollar amount. So if you just simply prioritize client work that has money, then you will get paid more money. If you prioritize client work that doesn't have money, including zero money, you're not going to get money paid. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So it's up to you to decide what you want to do for your client work. But on top of the client work, we're also saying that for a normal buddy team session, you will get paid the bonus on the buddy team session. Plus, on top of that, we can have VA session bonuses as well. So there'll be a VA session bonus on top of the buddy team. So a normal buddy team bonus, you get $1 bonus, right, for completing a good buddy team session. For executive VA session, you're not only going to get the normal buddy team session bonus, you're also on top of that get the executive VA buddy team session because the executive team needs to be done much more organized. You're going to get twice as much value for doing an executive VA session to give incentive for RTVA. Plus, you get value for the RTVA setup and doing the RTVA shift. Plus, you get value for the
that is
VA
the
session
value, not
scheduling, and you're
above
getting the
it.
value for the buddy team session itself. So that will be triple the value. And then on top of that, you're doing the work. So if you choose to do sponsorship work and make a bunch of money, you're going to have a VA session with RTVA shift. And so you're going to be making $1 for that or whatever amount is for that. Plus you're getting the $125 for the actual client work.
And stretch and move around for
And
30
when you
seconds.
multiply that by 80 buddy teams in a month, and you multiply that times 20 VA sessions per month, and maybe we're doing 2 RTVA shifts per week, so that's going to be, let's say, 8 of those. And then you're gonna do the client work for for this. You get your $125. It starts adding up to a lot of money. So this would be 80 times 2. That's gonna be $160 plus 140 plus the 125. You're quickly getting, because remember, it's all about gamification, right? We're trying to make it a game so that you're when you're playing a game, every single point value isn't high. Sometimes you click on a
This
button or you jump on a thing and you get 1 point. Other things, you do something and you get 1,000 points, right? So it just
Okay.
all slowly adds up in the game, and the total here adds up to 341. So $1 at a
Okay.
time will add up for things that you do. The reason why buddy team sessions are worth so little is because we have so many of them. So if we have $300 for buddy team sessions budgeted every month, we can only pay $1 per one because there's 80 of them. If there was only 2 of
Okay.
them, we could pay $100 per buddy team session, but there aren't 2 of them, which is why for main session, because there's only
This is
4
just
main
the
sessions
value,
per
not
month, we can pay $25 per main session and budget $100.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
And for
Now,
all of our internal operations,
that is
we
just
will
the value,
control.
Jay.
This is the
okay.
gamification.
The
It's
value is
creating the
different from upfront payroll.
Okay. Look,
yes.
Jay,
This is the income. The income comes in, and then you calculate the actual payroll separately. The actual calculation of the payrolls is done totally separately, the same as before. but this is the actual
Okay.
income that comes into the team.
This is the
Okay.
value
For
that we go and put on token, bring 0 point something. You cannot count the value than counting the